Today I'm going to talk about growing your profits by reducing turnover and increasing retention. So, if your turnover is greater than 10%, you have a problem. You must look at employee churn in the same way you look at customer churn. Anything over 10%, ideally you want to have less than 5%, but anything over 10% churn is unacceptable and is costing you money. So, you're now spending extra resources to recruit, onboard, and train new hires just to have them leave as well. Turnover is extremely expensive. You can find figures on this in many different places, including my book, Powered by People. But ultimately, if you think, a lot of places will say, well, it's two times salary. Well, then you start looking at sales. Sales is exponentially more than 2 times salary because, of course, you've got quotas involved, you've got opportunity costs involved, travel, lots of other things that are involved in that. So if, in smaller organizations and even in some larger ones, you as the CEO, if you're spending your time doing a lot of interviewing, you're distracting from your own growth. Right? How much is your time worth? A lot more than interviewing people when you should have professionals doing that for you. Professionals even in your own company. So current employees also can be super disengaged and not performing up to full potential. You've heard the new buzzwords, quiet quitting, quiet firing. There's so many of them out there I can't even remember. Although the buzzwords are new, the problems are not new. These are things I have seen in the over 30 years I've been in the business, and I can assure you they were around long before I came into the business. So you've heard the definition of insanity, right? I'm sure you know what that is. In case you don't, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You've got to disrupt this problem. So the solution you need to put in place is, first of all, it's imperative you build a talent strategy that's aligned with your business strategy and vision. Okay, that way everyone is on the same page. Now, a lot of companies post jobs. I refer to this as post and pray. That is not an effective strategy. Now, I'm not saying that for some jobs you can't use that as an adjunct to old-fashioned headhunting, but who responds to job ads? I know you're probably saying this while you're watching this, people who need a job. So do you want to hire people who need a job? Or do you want to go out and find somebody that's never going to be looking at your job because, one, they don't know you exist, or two, they're just not looking. So how do you have an opportunity to even reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love to have a conversation with you if you're open to hearing, okay? And so you need to get out and actually headhunt. That's part of your talent strategy. And that professional headhunting means if you want to have internal recruiters, hey, I'm all for that, but you need to train them. They need to be trained on what it is to be a professional headhunter, or you may be using agencies, but you need to also be able to ask them questions to determine, does this firm actually know what they're doing? And the problem is, in the recruiting world, there's so much dreck out there that it's hard to find who's that top 2% that we should be working with. And the biggest impediments to success is really doing this on your own because you think it's easy. Professional headhunting is not easy. Talent strategy is easy once you have a team and a strategy in place that knows what they're doing, right? They know how to source, they know how to engage people and get them on the phone. They know how to have a conversation with them. They know how to sell them on the opportunity. They know how to ask great questions. And then ultimately, they know how to close the business and get them in there to make sure that they're a fit from a skills and ability standpoint, that they're a fit from a cultural standpoint. One really important thing to remember here when it comes to retention especially is that north of 50% of people fall off within the first 18 months of employment for reasons having nothing to do with skills and abilities. So what does that mean? It means cultural fit. So if you're not aligned in all these things, you're really just going to be spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of money. So that said, if you have any questions about anything I just talked about, Happy to have a conversation with you. Even if you want my help increasing retention for your company so you can grow your own profits, click the link in the description and book a call with me. And don't forget, we'd love you to like the video, comment if it was helpful to you, and subscribe for future videos and podcast episodes. Thanks. We'll see you next time.